at Caulfield today. Now they're all in. Set for the first, the light turned on. Ready for action. Racing. Apophis came out towards the tail. He's now going to try and gather speed. It's Jerry began fast on the inside. Baker well away and Luna Rox went up outside the pair. Miss Tambo settling down fourth and Apophis fifth after a sluggish start. He's over racing too. Then came Immoral getting in about midfield, went off the rail. Nice spot for him, Immoral. Then Orphan's Trust made a miss and two Michelle, who's last. Down towards the 600 metres. Luna Rox sped away mid-race. Opened up a lead of 3 lengths over It's Jerry. Baker third the outside. To Apophis in fourth. Miss Tambo lying fifth the rail. Immoral on the way forward. He's 5 off the lead. Then Orphan's Trust made a miss of Michelle. They sweep for home. 350 left to run. Luna Rox leads the way. It's Jerry is trying hard. Baker coming after the leader. Apophis being ridden along. Miss Tambo to the inside, looking for room to move, running out of room. And here's Immoral sweeping down the outside. Soon afterwards, Immoral on the outside raced up, hit the lead. Michelle is flying home. Still there, Apophis, but Immoral too good. Immoral won the first. Beat home either Apophis, Orphan's Trust out wide, or Michelle. Not far away, Miss Tambo, then Motor Miss Baker, followed by It's Jerry and Luna Rox swept them in 61.14, and that was in a long way from home.
Immoral, number 6, Tony Gollan, $6.80 and $2.30, ridden by Jimmy Orman. He had the big weight, but it was a frenetic tempo, wasn't it? Set by Luna Rox. She was lit up and has felt the pinch in the home straight. It certainly helped those horses back in the field. They were really strung out behind that leader. And this guy has been ridden patiently at his last few starts, and he's coming with this booming finish. So he's picked up the big weight, the 60 kilos, and he's got up to score. Close for the Miners. Michelle gets fourth. Second, we're just waiting for here. Apophis is there. And the one that was pretty unlucky, clearly, Miss Tambo, who was going for a run. 6, 12 and 9. So 12 does get second, Orphan's Trust. 6, 12, 9 after the running of the opening event on the card. Bernie, as we look at them turn into the home straight here, and it's all about Miss Tambo and those yellow colours. There's nowhere to go.
Oh, gosh, it was an awful watch, wasn't it? You could see Cole originally contemplated coming out, then went back to the inside, and there was just literally nowhere to go with still 2 horses inside him. He went for that inside run, and it just looked a little bit scary there for a few moments. I don't think there's any doubt Miss Tambo would have made this race very, very interesting had she got through. But it was her stablemate, Immoral. In fact, all 3 of Tony's have raced well. We make excuses for the favourite because he just began so poorly here today, and found himself in a spot, Apophis that he's just not used to. Craig Kavanagh joins us for a chat, actually, because Tony would be in Melbourne, lining up later in Caulfield, and you had 3 runners here. Tell me, Immoral's the winner. Congratulations to the connections there. Do you think Miss Tambo may have won if had she got through?
Oh, if the gates had parted, I think it was a different case there. Yeah. She sort of, when she went for that run, everything just shut up. And the other horse had a good clear run. Yeah. The little horse Michelle, he was a good run too. He sort of, a horse just sort of rolled out in front of him there when he was making his run and just sort of interfered with him a bit. But we can't take anything away from the winner. He was a very, very good win.
And he's really sort of lifted it up a notch this campaign, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Took him to Rockhampton for the carnival. He had a victory there, and since then he's had a, like sort of just had that killer instinct about him, just wanting to win, and he's winning a lot easier now.
Certainly is. So I'd say we keep watching Miss Tambo and Michelle both for their future wins.
Yeah, just got to hope Michelle can draw a gate next run and can ride in that little bit closer and go from there. But she definitely was a black booker.
100%. Well done, Cap.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know where Jim Orman is. Let's have a look around the yard and just see if I can find him, because we're out the back today. It is Mecca Day here today, so no horses are actually unsaddling out the front. So there's no winners' stalls. They just all come back into the yard and they all unsaddle and they just scatter. So I can't see Jim Orman around. So we might have to leave it there. I can't even give you a time because we're all out the back. But 6 does beat 12, 9 and 5.
Princess Tenko and Sebring Girl. Princess Tenko's got to tick the 1350 box.
Here's David Fowler.
This time, Ayahuasca came away awkwardly, and Princess Tenko wasn't that well served at the start. She's midfield with no early speed. Star of Chaos, on the other hand, flew out at the start and goes to an easy lead. Sebring Girl, the second, Espresso Love third away, and settling down in fourth was Cosmic Gossip. Then came Dramatica a bit wider. Ayahuasca along the rail, and Princess Tenko, I don't think anyone thought she'd be back third last, but that is where she is. And Deep Rouge and Daring Bell, the last pair. 900 left to run. Star of Chaos rolling strongly in front. Had a margin of 2 over Sebring Girl in second. Espresso Love third, the rail in the centre, Cosmic Gossip. And Dramatica, things haven't panned out too well for her. She's 3 wide exposed and pushing forward. Now Princess Tenko starts to get a bit of a move on. Goes to about 6.5 off the lead as they reach the 600. That's split in 45-48. Ayahuasca on the inside of Princess Tenko. Then Deep Rouge and Daring Bell. 6 lengths span them. They're at the home turn. 400 left to run. Star of Chaos currently travelling well. Sebring Girl can't get it at this point. Then Espresso Love, Dramatic has always been wide. Princess Tenko tries to put in, but she's giving Star of Chaos a pretty handy start. And Deep Rouge running on fairly. Star of Chaos in front. Sebring Girl is battling on well. Princess Tenko can't win. It's Star of Chaos the leader from Sebring Girl. And Star of Chaos all of the way beats Sebring Girl. Third was Princess Tenko. Fourth was Deep Rouge. Then a gap to Dramatica, Ayahuasca, Espresso Love and Cosmic Gossip all in a line, and Daring Bell trailed them home in 120.11.
It looks like 6, 9, 1 and 5 straight to the lead. Star of Chaos, when a couple of the other favourites didn't begin that well and were back, she just assumed control of the race pretty much straight away and has led all of the way. Sebring Girl was much better. Princess Tenko was back. She did get a nice cart into the race. Tempo went against her a little bit, but no real excuses for her. And then I think it was Deep Rouge just behind the place getters there. But to Jimmy Orman, taking Star of Chaos straight to the lead. That's the real Star of Chaos. I don't know what happened last start. She was terrible. That's possibly a little bit complimentary, but look at her today, really attacking the line, and we can probably put that down to the gear changes, blinkers back on today, and a tongue tie again. She may have got a tongue over the bit or choked down last start. Something went horribly wrong, but Tony Gollan in his preview suggested that she would turn that form around from last time. He told anybody who wanted to listen, and he was absolutely spot on. So just looking at the others, Ayahuasca back in behind them. She was back last and didn't have a lot of luck there at all in the home straight, so a bit of a forget there. Dramatica was obliged to race a little bit wide, and Deep Rouge running on the outside, but she was a different horse today, Bernie. Star of Chaos.
Yeah, she was great, and nobody wanted that lead with her. She just bowled along out in front, a few gear changes, Cav, did just the job.
Yeah, before she had a first start for us, she come from us with a heap of gear on her, and usually when they come to our yard, we usually take the gear off and work from there. And we heard bad by taking the tongue tie off her, and tongue tie back on. A different sort of horse. Bad barrier last time, got caught wide, but anyway, we won't wind the clock back. We'll look forward to today.
Absolutely, and she just relaxed beautifully out in front. She had a beautiful long stride, and the mid-race section of the race was actually soft on her.
Yeah, Jimmy's intentions were to lead, if anything wanted to lead, to take a sit, but he got the lead so easy and had it soft in front. She gave a good kick. No, it was good to see her do it.
Ayahuasca, not much went right for her. We're seeing these horses not coming off the fence here today. You've had 2 in a row, I guess, but yeah, it looked ugly.
Yeah, I was waiting over yonder Venny. She only saw daylight the last little bit when she eventually come about 4 horses off the fence. Yeah, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, we might have to look for these swoopers. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, Craig Kavanagh on behalf of Tony Gollan, or if not swooping, at least up front. That's 2 races down, and we've seen a number of horses not able to secure runs when sort of being just behind the speed on the fence. So very interesting. All right, that's it for the second here. Tony Gollan again, 2 from 2. Star of Chaos takes out the fillies and mares, benchmark 75. Here's Newcastle.
okay, she can win. Then Acres Away and In Evidence.
All right, I thought Jack's Boom looked particularly well in the yard, so I'm going her way. Here's David.
All set for action, they're racing, and they jump well, but Surreal Ascot particularly began well. Aristella half bucked out of the start, it's about 3 or 4 lengths away in last position. Look at Ormond on Acres Away, quickly alert at the start and going straight to the early lead from Surreal Ascot and In Evidence. Crimson Warning fourth being Easter, trying to get in closer to the rail. Then Jack's Boom followed by Adelaide, a few lengths away to Tinker. No early speed, then Planned Encounter, and Aristella now trying to recover in last. They head towards the back bend with just over 800 left to run. Surreal Ascot's jockey was determined to get to the lead. It railed inside of Acres Away and moved out to lead by 2. Ormond happy to surrender and settled second on Acres Away. In Evidence is third and fourth the rail, Crimson Warning. Then Jack's Boom over on the outside of Adelaide. Aristella, De Tinker and Planned Encounter is last. First 750, 45.19. Travelling up towards the turn, Surreal Ascot the leader, but Acres Away has got it firmly in its sights and now starting to chip into that margin. Trailing by a length as they turn. Crimson Warning railed to third. To the outside In Evidence running on. Then came Adelaide, Jack's Boom, forget the others. Well on the straight though, Acres Away. Went to the lead from Surreal Ascot. In Evidence now coming after Acres Away and coming after it strongly. Acres Away's got a battle on its hands. In Evidence on the outside and Surreal Ascot not giving him, but In Evidence will be superior. Move clear, beat Surreal Ascot. Third over the line, Acres Away. He weakened late. He didn't get the distance. Then either Planned Encounter, Jack's Boom or Adelaide for the fourth spot. Crimson Warning not too far away. The ticket never ran on and Aristella was gone from the start. Ran last in 120 and 98.
2, 9 and 1. Well, the Rocky Gallopers have been doing particularly well. We had Shamidi win about a month ago and then Acres Away 2 weeks ago, and now In Evidence has his turn in the big city. So number 2 is the winner. The claim was key. And he had a 6 kilo pull in the handicaps over Acres Away, and that stood him in good stead today. He's run the trip right out. The gallop seemed to be nice. Acres Away did a big bit of work early before Surreal Ascot kicked up and kept the tempo going nicely there for those 3-year-olds. And In Evidence has finished best, trained by John Wigington and ridden by Bailey Wheeler. 6:32.10. Surreal Ascot courageous there. So too Acres Away, who had to hump to 59. And then Planned Encounter. The filly was good again. 2, 9, 1 and 8 after the running of a third. Bernie, it's all about the Rocky youngsters showing us up in the city over the past month.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, we generally see them at this time of year, don't we? They pick the right time, post-winter carnivals, the correct time to bring these horses. And they were both incredibly brave. But you mentioned the 6 kilo turnaround. Let's have a chat with John now. Well done, John, with this little horse In Evidence. He's just done a super job, hasn't he?
Little horse, yeah, he tries his heart out. And yeah, no, lovely horse. We thought the 30-50 would suit him the way he's been racing. I always find the line late sort of thing, so.
He's probably felt a bit rushed in those shorter races, do you think?
Yeah.
Had a nice turnaround at the weights today over your fellow Rockhampton horse.
Yeah, I didn't want to come this far to take Tommy on, but there was no other options. But when we could get Barley, get the claim, well, it was a good turnaround in the weight, so that helped us make a decision to come. Yeah.
Absolutely. And do you stick around?
No, we'll take him home, and I haven't looked any further to see what's on the programs for him, but see what Barley's report is and see what he thinks. So.
4 wins now from 9 starts.
Yeah, he's been sensational. Yeah, he's been lovely.
Every year you're finding yourself a really nice horse, aren't you?
I've been lucky enough to go to the yearling sales and find 1 or 2 nice ones. So.
How many are you working now?
I've got a dozen in work, yeah. So.
That's a perfect number.
Got 5 yearlings to come in, or 5 2-year-olds now, so well, hopefully only 1 or 2 of those are as good as this fella, so or even better, be better.
Indeed. Well, you're doing a superb job. Enjoy the win.
Thanks, man.
Cap. Red light turned on. All set. Ready for action. Well-behaved line. They're off and racing this time. Charlemagne hesitated, came away in last position. Star Seeker, Full Press, Prime Impact and Dark Harmony all came out with gusto, and Balente's on the way forward. Centre Blaze also going up towards the leading division, and then came Lucky Exchange. A few lengths away came Crack of Doom, then We Go Bam. She's third last in the first call. Charlemagne second last, and Rosovo is last of all. But the gallop looks good as they run down the back. 1100 left to run. Dark Harmony, the blue and white colours crossed to the rail, but Centre Blaze went up to be second. Now trying to be steady by the jock. In third was Balente, and just behind that pair, Star Seeker fourth the rail. One away, Prime Impact off the speed today. He travels in fifth, two to Full Press. Lucky Exchange 3/4 of a length away. Then Crack of Doom inside of We Go Bam, and together at the tail, Charlemagne and Rosovo. 10 lengths span them down the side, 700 from the judge. Dark Harmony calls the shots mid-race. Leading Centre Blaze coming off the mid already. Going through on its inside was Balente. Prime Impact in fourth, that first split. That's quick, 59.84. Back marker suited here. Then came Prime Impact, who's off the bit. Lucky Exchange making a run, so as We Go Bam. Rosovo's very wide. Star Seeker and Full Press trying to pitch inside runs. And then came Charlemagne and Crack of Doom. But Dark Harmony has still got a bit of a break with 300 left to run from Balente in second position. These back markers out of the race so far. Dark Harmony's gone hard. Balente's now the challenger. Dark Harmony, the 100 leads narrowly. Balente trying hard. Charlemagne up to third. Balente on the outside reached the lead and beat Dark Harmony, who was game. Charlemagne third, Full Press fourth. Then Centre Blaze, We Go Bam, Crack of Doom, Prime Impact, Rosovo, Star Seeker, and a margin to Centre Blaze out towards the tail.
1, 3 and 2, Balente with 15 wins under his belt, going into a no-met win with a 2 kilo claim. He knows how to win, this guy. He said to Dark Harmony, this is how you do it. And then Charlemagne getting third after dawdling out has finished on quite well there in the home straight. We're just waiting for that fourth number. We Go Bam was back and around them. Just one batted in the home straight, and Lucky Exchange was one batting up the running as well. But not so this guy, Balente. He was off the scene for around about a year. And he's got his first win for quite some time, and that's been his fifth run back from a spell, and a deserving victory too. 16 wins from 45, 9 seconds and 4 thirds. He's been an absolute beauty. He's an 8-year-old now by sizzling, and he gets up by around about a head. Full Press, as called, gets that fourth spot. So there's the handicapper's delight, Bernie. If you're a bit dyslexic like me, 1, 3, 2 and 4.
I'm doing day with Sky.
Thank you very much, Maxie. Yes, just waiting to find Nick Walsh. It's pretty tricky today, given that we are around the back. Extraordinary training effort. Really, Nick can take a bow here, and a beautiful ride too by CJ Graham. Dark Harmony really giving a strong kick inside the furlong. It would have appeared, that they were running along at a very genuine clip, and I'm starting to get the feeling that although the first winner came from back in the ruck, I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe we might want to be on speed here today. All right, who's in charge for Nick Walsh here today? Okay, who have we got? Brooke, and tell us, Brooke, you work for Nick, clearly.
Yeah, I'm Nick's partner, so...
Oh, well, you'll know all about this horse and you'll be heavily involved. You ride work?
No, I don't. I stay firmly on the ground. Much safer down there, I think.
Well, what an extraordinary job you and Nick have done with this horse here today.
He's an unreal horse. He come to us and he does everything, really. We just get to enjoy the ride with him. That's it.
Yeah. And it was a funny race because obviously he had the 61 kilos. Your next weighted horse was 54.
He's a war horse. He's carried the weight everywhere in the bush. He'd win with 65 and make him look ordinary doing it. So the weight, it's always a concern when you come down here, but he'll carry it wherever he goes.
You guys, a young team there in Rocky, really have got pretty good strike rate down here in the city, I'm thinking.
Look, we don't bring them down unless we think they can go well. And, yeah, you come down, you hope to go good, and that's all you can do, really.
Well, you've done a superb job. You and Nick enjoy the win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Dudway goes up. They're locked and loaded. Set for race 5. Light turned on. Ready for action. They're off and racing this time. Galifianakis began only fairly, but has ridden along in the early stages. Shady Vale Storm bounced well. Iridessa holding a spot. Kuda today not too far away. Kashmir being ridden off the speed today. Then Mr. Dudway, followed by She's a Dandy, drifting back So Bene, Top Boy, and as usual, Port Baron drops out to last. A line of 3, it's keen as they go to the mile first turn, and Iridessa determined to hold the front. Keeps out Galifianakis, and Shady Vale Storm was momentarily trapped 3 wide outside the pair, but Galifianakis now drops to the rail behind Iridessa, so Shady Vale Storm gets one off. 2 to Kuda Taneri, who was watching all of that unfold in front and sits well in 4th. 2-away Mr. Dudway outside of Kashmir. Different tactics today, ridden off the speed quietly. Then She's a Dandy and So Bene racing together, and together at the tail, Top Boy and Port Morant. Along the back straight now, 1100 left to run. Iridessa slows things up in front, leads Shady Vale Storm. Galifianakis getting a tidy run, 3rd the inside, closely attended by Kuda Taneri, 4th on the outer. Then Mr. Dudway outside of Kashmir. He's 3 pairs back over on the inside. She's a Dandy covering So Bene, and then Top Boy and Port Morant the tail ender. No change to the running order, 800 left to run, and Iridessa's in front leading with Shady Vale Storm just edging a touch closer now. Galifianakis 3rd, getting that good run, and Ditto for Kuda Taneri. They've been 3rd and 4th for the major part of the trip. Then Mr. Dudway, Top Boy begins a run. Kashmir near the rail, needing room to move. She's a Dandy about to get going. Then came So Bene, and Port Morant is last of all coming to the turn. Iridessa's in front but under siege from Shady Vale Storm, and Kuda Taneri charged up on the outside. Galifianakis gets the inside run now. Then Kashmir working to the race, and Top Boy is still running on. Kuda Taneri leads the way. Galifianakis giving its head after it. Then Kashmir and Top Boy. Galifianakis on the inside. Kashmir the outside. Top Boy even wider. Here's a good finish. Kashmir going home best. Stays the best. Beats home Galifianakis, Top Boy, then So Bene and Kuda Taneri, who peaked late. Then She's a Dandy, followed by Port Morant, Iridessa, Shady Vale Storm, and Mr. Dudway last over the line.
Well, Kashmir, with a big pull in the weight over his stablemate Galifianakis, has told over the last 100 metres and has got the money. So, Kashmir, terrific ride by CJ Graham, giving CJ back-to-back winners. She was on Belmonte in the previous, and today she just parked beautifully, 5th or 6th on the fence, giving him the softest run in the world. And he ended up getting the best run in the world and has been too good late. Gally was good, Galifianakis. Again, sluggish out of the gates, but he drove him forward off a moderate early tempo. And he's done a bit of work there. He had the rails, he give a good kick there, but that 59 at the end of 2,000 metres has just been a little bit beyond him. He's been gallant there in defeat. Top Boy, and then So Bene nearer the inside gets that 4th spot. So 6, 1, 5 and 8. It's a Jack Bruce Quinella and a race-to-race double for jockey CJ Graham.
Yeah, thanks, Maxie. Great effort. These 2 horses are just going so well. And what about Top Boy? He was a mile to 2,000. He's filled 3rd spot here. So perhaps he's one to look out for in one of these 2,000 metre races in coming weeks. Just waiting for trainer Jack Bruce to make his way around the back here. But, yeah, they're so even, these 2, Galifianakis and Kashmir, but it was just that weight advantage. And a big weight advantage, 5 kilos splitting these 2 horses here today. But that was enough. Kashmir needed the run last start. He faced the breeze and, yeah, today looked a great race for him. So we'll get Jack's thoughts when he gets here. Hopefully he arrives soon. As I say, at every race here today, it's very tricky. We're out the back and it's just the sort of no sort of order here out the back. And I don't know whether even all the trainers know that they're not meant to go out the front, as we're still waiting for them to arrive. Your numbers are 6, Kashmir beats 1, Galifianakis 5, Top Boy, and 8 ran 4th. So that was So Bene. So Kuda Taneri, although he looked to travel really nicely throughout the run and he was poised, ready to pounce there,
because Preach has been a decent go, 12 into 7. I think that's the Quinella, 6, 5, 12 and 14.
I'm with the favourite. Here's David.
Racing. They jumped at a good line, bar Pocketful. No early speed out of the gate. He's last. Thelwell fast away. Tackled by Preach on the inside and Simbu the outside. The three go together. Lady Wardell fourth away, and then came Rainbow Connection. Settling a touch worse in midfield, being passed by Saweetie. Then J. Anthony, Pocketful and Our Red Planet is last. That's the first call into the first bend. Short of 800 left to run. Preach, the well-back Preach leads. Simbu 3/4 of a length away second. Two to Lady Wardell in third. Thelwell fourth. Saweetie fifth and exposed 3 wide. Then came J. Anthony to the rail, followed by Rainbow Connection. Strung up in some traffic. Pocketful joining the 3 wide line, and Our Red Planet is last of all. The first 600 metres, 35 and 35. Preach trying to do it all the way. Came to the turn in front. From on the outside, Simbu, Lady Wardell in third. Thelwell sailing up to them. J. Anthony coming off heels to try and run on. Rainbow Connection putting in. And wider on the track was Pocketful with work to do. Preach gone. Thelwell reached the lead. J. Anthony's after it gamely. Rainbow Connection is struggling. The leader was Thelwell, but J. Anthony's got it. J. Anthony straight away, too good. Beat home. Thelwell or Preach who came again. Our Red Planet fourth. Wider Pocketful. Rainbow Connection, no excuse today. Then Simbu, Lady Wardell, and trailing them home with Saweetie in 1981.
Well, she's found her mojo, Jayanthe, and she's made a back-to-back wins here, ridden by Ben Thompson for Steve O'Day, Matt Hoysted, taking the opening leg of the quaddie. It is close for second and third. Preach on the inside of Thelwell. Thelwell, Preach. Maybe Preach burning? I don't know. We'll have to wait for that. Yeah, very close there. Disappointment was Rainbow Connection. Very, very disappointing. Our Red Planet has got fourth. Yeah, we're just going to have to put him on the bench for a while. But Jayanthe, won earlier in her career. I think it was at Ballarat, and she was going well at the midweeks in Sydney. She picked up a Warwick Farm win and got that confidence boost last start when she found the right part of the track here. And today she was full of running as she went out after the leaders. Thelwell just tying up a little bit late. Doesn't quite get the trip, but Jayanthe does. She's been able to race away and score a comfortable win. Pocketful was slow out of the gates. That's him getting home wide out there. He's finished in about fifth position. So Our Red Planet gets fourth. 12 Jayanthe, 5 Preach, 14 Thelwell, 17 Our Red Planet. So Bernie, it's now onwards and upwards for this mare.
Absolutely. She is flying, isn't she? That was one big finish that she had then. We're going to have a chat with Matt Hoysted now, and boy, oh boy, she's found her mojo. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. No, she's been fantastic. It was good to see her, be able to really go on with it. It was a big step up in class. There was a few handy sort of horses here, but she's nice and fit. She's really thriving up here, and she's a good ride by Ben. Obviously was able to make use when Rainbow Connection didn't want to go to the rail and save that ground, and then be able to obviously work good that Thelwell gave that good kick, so it sort of allowed us to be able to get clear air. But she's got a really explosive turn of foot, which she showed last start, and was able to show it again. So she can definitely go through her grades up here.
Absolutely. And has there been sort of any tricks to her?
No, not at all. She obviously come in good order. She's rock hard fit, so we haven't had to do too much with her. We just try and keep her nice and happy. She goes out for little week freshens after a run, and as I said, don't do too much work with her. And she's just happy and thriving at the moment. So hopefully that can continue. Sometimes
less is more, especially with the girls.
Yeah, that's it. And I think she's enjoying the weather. She come with a big hairy coat on her from down there, and her coat with a lot colder weather. So I think she's enjoying the sun like most of us do.
Indeed. Well done to you and the team.
Cheers. Thank you.
Turned on. This is race 7. Hatchet drawn the rails. All that possessed drawn right on his outside. Racing. Hatcher was only fairly away off the inside. Fast to go, Dragon Miss from Situation Room, and Orbison flies between them. Then came 5 Oxford. Hatcher going up next. All that pizzazz, no speed, back to the second half of the field. Then Darlavin, Zuma, California, and Red Ruby is last of all. They really hook into it down below the 800. Orbison and Situation Room, matching their motors. Orbison holds front. 3 away, Dragon Miss in third. Fourth, 5 Oxford. Then the 2 big guns, dead set centre field. Hatchet on the inside of All That Pizzazz. Then Zuma, California, outside of Darlavin, and 2 to Red Ruby at the tail end. Travelling up to the home turn, just over 400 left to run, and Orbison will turn in the lead from Situation Room. Then came Dragon Miss, followed by Hatchet looking for a run. Then 5 Oxford. All That Pizzazz pulled to the outside. They've got a bit of work to do, the favourites, and Zuma, California's running on generously. It's still Orbison. Orbison the leader from Situation Room. All That Pizzazz running on powerfully now, but Orbison still the leader. 50 to go. All That Pizzazz up to second. Orbison all the way in great form. Made it the hat trick. Beat home All That Pizzazz, Situation Room and Hatchet. Then Darlavin, Red Ruby, Zuma, California, Dragon Miss and 5 Oxford in 1:4.17.
There are the placings, 1, 6, 5 and 10. Orbison going all the way. Paul Hamblin, he's just been a great horseman over many, many years, and this horse is not straightforward at all, and he's one jockey that Ken sought him out. He sent him straight to the lead. Situation Room tested him a little bit early, and then they backed it off, and gee, give him a whiff of the winning post when he gets a cheap couple of hundred. He's almost impossible to run down at this level of competition, and he's been able to go all the way. Paul Hamblin will be just delighted with getting another win on this guy. Trained by David Van Dyke. All That Pizzazz was terrific there. He put his ears back and had a crack, and he was motoring home late, but he was never really going to catch Orbison, who stole a march on him. Situation Room was good under the big weight, and Hatchet had his chance. Hatchet actually raced ahead of All That Pizzazz, which sort of surprised me a little bit, and he maybe he was just run off his legs a little bit there, Hatchet, wanting something further, Bernie, but he's a fast horse, this guy Orbison, and give him a cheap time out in front, you pay the price.
He was great, Dave, wasn't he?
Oh, that was wonderful. You know, they were going pretty quick there past 1,000, and he had the 60 kilos, a month between runs without a jump out or trial. And I'm thinking, geez, going to have to dig deep. And wow, that was very impressive. He was full of running the last 200. And Paul Hamlin wasn't looking back. It was head down, and he was going hard.
Yeah, head down, bum up, that's for sure. One of his more convincing wins, particularly in this grade.
Very much so. I mean, he's had to keep stepping up. That's 3 in a row. His benchmark, it keeps going up, and yeah, it was a dominant win with the big weight. So maybe we can dream a bit higher down the track.
Yeah, where might you dream to? What do you think you'd like to aim him for?
I think sort of the 1,000, 1,100's his trip. He can use that high cruising speed. So look, you know, he's open company, and we might be looking at listed Group 3s down the track.
Absolutely exciting and great for Paul Hamlin. I'm loving the ride he's on with this horse.
Oh, it's amazing. He does so much work for us back home with the rough ones, and, you know, he'll ride horses no one else will. And it's wonderful to reward him and the wonderful owner, Jan McMillan, who bred this horse. She is just wonderful. And
is she watching in Gympie?
She'll be watching and cheering, and, you know, she bred him, and it's just a great story.
It is indeed. Enjoy the win. Well done.
Thank you.
We'll switch on the red light. He does that now. All in. They're set to go. Stand by for a break in race 8. RNT moves, steadies. Racing. Stampy began fast out wide, so Warwick's got speed. R&T with the blinkers flying through. Don't Stop not too far away with Shaquiro and Bonaparte settling in sixth position. Paladas went forward, but he's caught wide in the early part. Then Bonaparte, Animate diving over onto the rail, followed by Lasting Kiss, 2 to Irish Songs and 2 to the stayer Alabia last. Down below the 1,000 metres, R&T sets up shop. In front leads Sir Warwick, who goes up to pressure it. Don't Stop is going to get a tiny run behind that pair in third. Shaquiro on the rail fourth. Just behind them Stampy, but he's caught wide today. He can't get it on the lead. Bonaparte sixth, Animate seventh. The rail, the gallop is good. Paladas wide covering ground. He's having an extra tough run. Then Broken Heroes, Irish Song trying to improve ahead of Lasting Kiss and Alabia. Oh, 43.37. That's a very fast first split. Leaders will stop coming to the turn. R&T leads away from Sir Warwick. Shaquiro sweating on a run. Don't Stop, pull to the outside. Then Bonaparte. Animate with something to offer but can't get clear. On out wide, Paladas. Irish Songs putting in. And then came Alabia. Still a leader though is R&T. He's gone hard. They haven't got him as yet. R&T with 100 metres to go is well clear. Shaquiro emerging for a place. Then Don't Stop. Said he'd stop. I was dead set wrong. R&T a big win. Beat home Shaquiro. Third Don't Stop. And fourth over the line was Alabia. Then Paladas, Sir Warwick, Bonaparte. Followed by Animate, Irish Songs, Stampy, Lasting Kiss. And last over the line, Broken Hero in 1:18.56.
Well, that's more like it, isn't it, with R&T? A totally different horse in the home straight to what we saw last start. Goodness me, he's turned it around. Oh, those blinkers. Oh, those blinkers. They're just an amazing tool that a trainer has. And Damien Thornton had him right there up on the speed. As David mentioned in the call there, they broke 44 or something, which is unheard of. The tempo there relentless, and he's been able to kick clear and no signs at all of stopping. Shaquiro had the world's best run behind him on the rails, kept staying on quite well to get that second spot. Don't Stop was up there on pace as well, holds down third, and then the tempo certainly helping Alabia. But that's what he can do, R&T, on a good day, and hopefully Chris Maher's able to find a few more similar races to this here at what is probably this horse's favourite track. He's at 8 starts here now for 4 wins. 1350 metres, yeah, no problems whatsoever with him today. He's a 5-year-old by Territories. He's had 6 wins from 18 starts and handled beautifully up on the pace there by Damien Thornton. So 8, 15, 14 and 4. Irish Songs was back. He got the tempo and then he started to hook on, and he was just shunted too wide at the top of the straight there, and those horses nearer the inside do have a little bit of advantage, I feel, today, Bernie. This guy, totally different horse altogether today with those blinkers on.
Yeah, he is a different horse today with the blinkers on. I think he appreciated this track a lot more as well. Chris Maher joins us for a chat now. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he did, Bernie. The other day, obviously, he was disappointing, but he just doesn't handle Eagle Farm now. Loves a bit of giving the ground. Just told Damien to be positive on him, which he was. A little bit surprised where he was. I thought there'd be, on paper, there was a fair bit of speed, so I thought just box seat him, but I know he can jump and lead and do that, but 6 runs into your prep. But obviously the blinkers were the main factor.
Absolutely, and I mean, he was hoiking along too.
Yeah, he was. He's got a decent motor on him. He's just been, last start was disappointing. He's had a few bad luck runs prior. His first up win here was great. Yeah. And then obviously running a Group 2, Group 3, and then you had no luck, and then the other day was ordinary. So to back it up and do what he did today was very pleasing.
Yeah, so you carry on now?
I think so. He's been in work a while, but he hates being in the paddock. So if I spelled him, he'd probably give him 2 weeks max. But he's more than happy just to sit at home in the box in the yard and just chill and think he goes all right. So we're more than happy to do that thus far.
Great job. Well done.
Thanks, Bernie.
All right, there he is, winning trainer Chris Maher. R&T takes out the 8th as we head to Newcastle.
Oh, movement out wide. Might have been Olympic legend. They steady. Racing Brisbane. As a reach flew out at the start, straight to the early lead. Olympic legend began well. Uncle Russ third away. I'm Lethal showing speed. A Magic Conqueror and Our Magnus were next. Early Thoughts nearer the inside, followed by 45 Park Lane. Going back soon after the start now was Shire of Goma. Speed looks to be good though. Then came Sidearm. A few lengths Subterranean, a few lengths to a Moody Bay. Outside of Scottish Prince and Collet Spirit settles down in last position. Into the first bend as a reach the leader, Michael Carlup leads Olympic legend by length with Uncle Russ box seating third. In fourth position was on the outside I Am Lethal, a Magic Conqueror Park fifth the rail. A length behind that pair, Our Magnus, just being niggled at by Gearin in the middle part, so suggesting the speed is good. 45 Park Lane over on the outside of Early Thoughts as Shire of Goma begins his move three deep. Then Sidearm, Subterranean, Scottish Prince of Moody Bay and Collet Spirit. Onto the home turn now, short of 400 left to Rana. As a reach heads for home in front. How much gas in the tank? He leads from Olympic legend, about to try and get on terms. Uncle Russ now bursting out of a pocket. Then I Am Lethal. Here's on down the outside. Our Magnus and also Shire of Goma. As a reach the leader. Our Magnus the outside, the danger. As a reach the inside. Our Magnus the outside. Then Shire of Goma. Big finish coming up on the last. As a reach trying to hold on. Did he? Not sure. As a reach around Magnus and a Functo finish from Shire of Goma and Magic Conqueror. Then came Collet Spirit, Early Thoughts, Uncle Russ, a Moody Bay, Sidearm, Subterranean, Scottish Prince, I Am Lethal, 45 Park Lane, Olympic legend last over the line in 1:19.74.
As a reach has just lasted from Our Magnus, Shire Goma and Magic Conqueror. As a reach, he had plenty wanted to go with him in the early part. On the map, it looked him, but I think a few other jockeys felt that they might have a crack as well. But he was really rolling along at a decent tempo in front. He was entitled to fold up, but he kept on fighting. Our Magnus has got a heart as big as himself. He just kept on driving on the outside, inch by inch, getting to As a Reach, but he just couldn't quite get there. And Shire of Goma was always running on down the outside. And Magic Conqueror getting up on the rails. So 6, 10, 18 and 15 in the last. I think when we're doing the form in weeks to come for today, Bernie, horses that are racing handy nearer the inside, I think they've had the advantage, and horses on the outside really finding the line late. Those ones that have actually found the line could possibly be black bookers for the next month or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're spot on there, Maxie. It did seem the pattern that, near the lead and near the down nice and low on that fence today was really, really fantastic. Danny Bagor, I'm looking for Danny Bagor. Ryan Tyrrell's trying to stand in and be Danny Bagor, but I think Danny's slightly older than Ryan. Not a lot older, but this is just wonderful to see As a Reach win today and Danny Bagor have a Metropolitan winner, of course, now training at the Gold Coast. And this is terrific for Michael Carl as well, because he's not been back an awful long time yet. So he needed a Saturday winner today, I would say. Many people cheering, congratulating Danny Bagor. He's like the superstar. Elvis has arrived. Well done.
Thanks, Bernie. Yeah, it was a good effort.
Pretty brave, isn't he?
Yeah, he dominated the race early, fought on well. I think the run over the mile just really fitted him up for that. So he's been screaming out to win a race in town, and today was his day.
He has, and he's just so admirable the way he sort of really puts that effort in it. He's a very serious little racehorse, and he showed so much tenacity today to hold on.
Yeah, he doesn't lay down. He's one-dimensional. He goes out, goes hard. If you beat me, you win. If you don't, I win. So
don't beat me, I break your heart.
Correct. So, no, it might be a bit of fun tonight.
I think this party, your troops are ready for a party. You go and enjoy.
Thanks, Bernie.